Hello everyone, this is LW Gaming and welcome to the global version of Future Langrisser. This time around we're going to be talking about the 7th anniversary, but I'm not going to be the only one talking about this update because I have a collaborator for this installment, and that collaborator is none other than Imperial Skee. So yep, this is my very first time doing a collab with him, and initially they may be thinking why you decide to collab? Well, the thing is, I want to try something different this time around. And the first thing I did to make it somewhat different than I'm used to is by, of course, collabing with another person. That's the first step. So, anyways, I'm gonna let this video play itself. And anyways, Impurski, jump in.
Alright, hey everyone, welcome to LW's channel. It's your boy Skee here, and today we've got something special for you. We're diving into the highly anticipated new hero from Langrisser, the mighty Humbaba, an absolute powerhouse of a unit that's ready to shake up the battlefield. Whether you're a seasoned player or just starting out, we've got you covered with all the tips you need to maximize her potential. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's get right into it. Let's talk about how to make the most of Humbaba's unique kit. For her enchants, with the way her kit is structured, you'll likely want to go Morning Dawn, which is the new red enchant. It gives her 2 stacks of immune to debuff at the start of battle, and every time she kills a unit, it also gives free unconditional 10% DI. Breeze is also a viable option as it gives 10% DI as well, and so you're always dealing more damage. Other options are Full Moon for stat stacking and Clock for clock shenanigans. Her kit is a really fun one to play around with as well. She spawns 2 butterfly breaths at the beginning of battle, and her unique 1C skill allows her to take the butterfly breath away from allies while they keep the shield to allow them to be unable to be targeted by enemy skills while in 1 ring distance of butterfly breath. Her 3C hits up to 4 times with each hit after the first one, reducing all her skill cooldowns by 1 turn, keeping uptime at an optimal. She can cast 3C every other turn with no external support when hitting 4 times with 3C. Very good unit, must pull.
Alright, thank you Imperial Skee for this. And now before we continue on to the next part of this video, is I'm gonna explain why the one of the factions symbol on here is lit up in a glow color. Well, it's because she is a new faction buffer for Origins of Light. And the classes she has are Mage and Demon. And her 2C faction buff effect is basically like after like a hold on, let me see what it says. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so when actively attacking, damage increased by 8%. When an enemy is on the friendly special terrain effect, which is the butterfly, or any effects that's yours, of course, damage is further increased by 8%, the total of 16%. And this will last for 4 turns, and this cannot be stacked with other fusion powers as usual. And then I gotta say, the 3C is absolutely nuts to have, because you're gonna be able to hit the same opponent up to 4 times, which is gonna be insane. So Skee already explained it, so I'm not gonna repeat it. So, anyways, moving forward to what else Humbaba is actually good at. So, anyways, for bonds, for herself, she does not need anyone for her bonds. As for the others, she doesn't roadblock anyone else's bonds. At least for now. I don't think she's gonna be like a requirement for future characters that needs her for bonds. Because honestly, they didn't do this for Enya, so it was Serena in the Total War story. So I don't think they're gonna do that for Humbaba. So yeah, you can set that worries aside because they're not gonna do that for these limited characters, at least not anymore. Same goes to LR characters because those ones don't require anyone else for bonds. And then for the uses, I believe Skee kind of covered some of this, but I'm gonna explain a little bit more here. So for the uses of her cases in the PvE, she is a strong DPS with fair amount of utility, and a strong cooldown mechanic from 3C makes her a versatile addition to any team. And as for the PvP usage, it is a must-have unit that shapes the meta as one of the most common ban target for her versatile usage. And yes, I'm not kidding, she is absolutely busted in PvP. And of course, not in the same level as Dragon Slayer. Even though as much as I do not like that guy, he is kind of a balance in some ways, because as long as you have someone that can shut him down, that's fine. And we're not talking about Dragon Slayer. This is not a Dragon Slayer video. This is Humbaba's video. So anyways, do I think this is worth it? Just like what Skee says, it is a hard yes, because she is an AoE nuker for both PvE and PvP that can hit the same enemy more than once, up to 4 times. And each additional times it will increase its multiplier damage, which makes it really dangerous to deal with. And also cooldown reduction for all of her skills based on extra hits, which is awesome. And also since she is a limited time unit, it was the hard yes is justified because she won't be in the general pool once she's gone, and she will come back around 6 months or so, depending on the release schedule, of course. Now let's move on to the next part, which is the new soldier we're gonna get in this update. So initially, I thought we are gonna get 2 new soldiers, but no. Zilong decided to surprise us and release 4 new soldiers for this update. Yep, you heard that right, 4 new soldiers. So we got a new archer called the Emerald Winged Archer, and yes, this is the official name for global. I'm not taking this from the CN site and then translated roughly. This is the official translation from the Zilong themselves. And I just copied the words here into this one, so that way it will use the official one instead of the rough translation, like you saw in the skills names. So anyways, the Emerald Wing Archer increases the soldier attack by 30%. When initiating combat, if there are no allies within 1 block of itself, gains soldier attack plus 15%. And the attack will ignore enemy shield HP. If the enemy has no shield HP, damage dealt is increased by 15%. So yeah, this archer soldier is actually pretty disgusting to use against. Use against anyone that likes to be in the shield. Like for example, TR is a shield, anything that has shield source. Yeah, they are going to be a nuisance to deal with if you're the shield dependent kind of player. So, but however, if you don't have any shield HP, that's where things will start to get really bad for you, because their damage out is going to be increased, which will make it terrifying. And the heroes that can use this soldier are Gaze Succubus, Lisa, Narm, Toma Hashiba, Tatalia, Broken Wing Bird, Jace, Celica, Salvaria, Makira, Seraphina, Julian, Sigma, Virelia, Kirika, Mew, and Sapphirine. These are the characters that can use the soldier. So if one of the characters that you play a lot is listed here, then have fun, because you're gonna have a lot of fun with this soldier. Next up we got is the Forbidden Forest Summit Church. I'm sorry, this is not the right way to pronounce, but anyways, this is a new mage soldier. And just like any magic soldiers, attacks are treated as magic. Soldiers' attack increased by 30%. Before initiating combat, there is 100% chance to inflict the target enemies with damage taken plus 10% for 1 turn. After combat, the target enemy is afflicted with active skill silence and heal block for 1 turn. Nasty. Nasty for the soldier built-in skills, as you can see here. Not only you inflict the damage taken increase of 10% for 1 turn, after that, you are gonna. I mean, that's like before combat, by the way. Before combat, you have like a damage taken increase, but by 10% on the enemy that you're trying to attack for one turn. And then after you attack, it's gonna inflict the active skill silence and heal block as long as they don't resist against it. So yeah, this is pretty nuts to have. So the heroes that can use this are Ferrokia, the original one, not Gay Succubus, Egbert, Ao, or known as Awakened One, Lana, Ren or Renee, depending on how you're gonna pronounce her name. But I'll go for Ren because that's what her name is actually officially pronounced in English. Leo Beck, and then Zelgadis, Cortez, Lena, Eins Orgon, Serna, Bozel, Gustav, Randell, and the new character Humbaba, and Lucretia. Yeah, if any of the heroes that you see on the list that you use a lot often, yep, feel free to use them as much as you want. And next up we got is Darktide Lamia, which is the new aquatic soldier. And this soldier is interesting because this one is also a magic-based soldier. No attacks are treated as magic. Soldier attack increased by 30%. While in water, units attacks ignores melee damage penalty. Reflects 20% of range damage back at the enemy. So yeah, this is a ranged soldier that can be utilized pretty well for some characters. The heroes that can use this are Lymph, Angelina, Lemia, Elucia, Serena, Archon of the Moon, Girl in the Shell, Ao or Awakened One, and Jugler. Quite surprising to see Jugler included in here. So let's move on to the next soldier, the new soldier, of course. This is the Ragehorn Gladiator, which is the soldier skills are increased by 30%. When entering combat, if there are no other enemies within one block of the target, gains damage dealt plus 20%. If there are no other allies within one block of this unit gains damage taken minus 20%. So that's actually pretty nuts to have for a soldier. And the heroes that can use this are Matthew, Kirikaze, Kurobara, Clotaire, Rapier, Gowry from Slayers, of course, Sibel, Ares, Sangha, Elwyn, Isolde, Ledin, Watham, Gun, Lostum, Varash, Shofugamachi, Sword and Light and Shadow or Z2, Abishai, and McLean. So yeah, Sibel and Sangha are actually the two future units we'll be getting at some point later on. We'll talk more about these two characters when the time is right. So Sibel is actually going to be in the next MU after Humbaba. So yep, tune in for that one very soon, when that time comes, of course. So Sangha is actually far away, so I will let you guys know when Sangha is going to be coming. So yep, until then, we're going to keep moving forward for this video. So the next one we're going to talk about is the SP soldiers this time around. So this time around we got the Training Guard as one of the SPs that you can get. So what this does is that the received healing effects are increased by 30%. Additionally, 35% of healing received are applied as shield HP, up to 40% of soldiers' max HP. When soldiers' HP is above 80%, attack defense and magic defense increase by 45%. Pretty solid for a Training Guard soldier. And additional heroes that can use this are Sapphirine, makes sense because she's kind of like a plant, almost. Christiane, surprised to see her here. I mean, it makes sense because, Emilia kind of looks similar to Christiane, but better. But worse, Christiane's better. So yeah, not so surprising that she's getting this too. Yulia is another one that she's getting. Tiana is also getting one here as well. Vargas, of course, is getting one, not the Dragon Slayer, just Vargas. And then Shinpachi Shimura from Gintama is also getting it here. And now let's move on to the next soldier, which I'm not sure if we're getting this in this update, because in CM we got this soldier in this update for 7th anniversary, but I don't know why Zealon decided to not have this included in the announcement, but I don't know. Just a little strange to me. So, anyways, we're gonna explain what Ocean Priest does, anyways. Even though if this Ocean Priest doesn't even exist in the game yet, but I'm just gonna give you guys a rundown of what the soldier does. So, attacks are considered as magic. Soldiers' attack and magic defense increase by 20%. These effects are doubled when positioned in water, and unit is not affected by melee damage penalty. When actively attacking, if either this unit or the enemy is in water, this unit's soldiers recover 30% HP before combat. And I gotta say, this is pretty solid for aquatic units. And the 4 heroes that can use this additionally are Ninorin, Captain Mac, Lemia, and Varash. Next up we got... Oh, whoops, there's something wrong with this. Let me fix this one sec. There we go, now it's fixed. There we go. Then the last SP soldier we got this time is the Elf Master, or the original archer soldier. So anyways, this is the SP skill it has. When positioned in forest or mountain, attack and defense increase by 30%. When initiating combat on a defensive terrain, soldier damage dealt increased by 5% for each block between this unit and the enemy, up to the max of 15%. Sadly, this soldier does not add additional heroes. So yep, as soon as you unlock this character, you can this soldier, you can pretty much slot it in for anyone that can use this, but you won't be getting additional heroes on this, since there's already a lot of heroes that can use this already. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that for all you to decide which hero best used for what. So anyways, let's move on to the next thing, which is the banners. What banners are we going to expect in this update? Well, not gonna lie, we'll be expecting a lot of banners coming to this game. And I'm not even kidding. So anyways, the first week we're expecting is of course Humbaba, along with the Divine Wish banner. That will have all heroes up until Makira and Shem Major update. So if you need like certain characters from the before, well, excluding limited time and collab characters, this banner is perfect for you. And this will run starting on the Christmas day until the 21st of January of 2026. And on week 2, this is going to start on the first day of 2026, featuring Varelia and Shem as a raid-up banner, along with a Wish banner for Langrisser 1 to 5 heroes. So if you need some catch-up with that one, that's the perfect banner for you. And as for the other 2 banners that are limited time, that will be here for 3 weeks. It'll be going to be there starting on the 1st of January of 2026 until the 21st. It will be featuring one banner with Serena and the other one with Sovereign of the Ice Abyss, or known as Ice Abyss for short. These 2 will be on the separate limited time banner. So if you need certain characters like Serena or Ice, depending on your playstyle, I would highly recommend you post Serena first if you haven't done already. But if you already got her and you wanted to get Ice, that's also a good choice. On week 3, starting on the 8th of January until the 21st, it will have a raid-up banner featuring Nomi and Lightbringer, and there's also a Destiny banner featuring Lemia, Sagani, and Randall, and a Wish banner for Mobile Arc 1 and 2, and there's also the Equipment banner for that update for that week as well. Although keep in mind that those banners may actually shift around from one week to another. So I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for those changes if necessary. And then as for the limited time banners for that week, we got Enya and Bright Summoner coming in this week, starting on the 8th until the 28th of January. And now the 4th week we got our 2 raid-up banners, and also some limited ones too. So the two raid-up banners we have this time are we got Hoffman, Gunn, and Andreole on one, and then the second one we have is Landius, Yulia, and Jugular, the classic, and then the Wish banner for Tensei heroes. Well, some of the Tensei heroes, of course. And then for the limited time banners we got this time around, starting on the 15th, we have Gay Succubus, Awakened One, Apo, and Watham. And these will be going for 3 weeks until the 4th of February. So yeah, a lot of things going on here. So you gotta decide who you want to pull because there are actually a lot of good choices in this update this time around, especially the limited ones. So if you're missing Gay Succubus from before, you have another chance of pulling her this time around. And she's also a way to take down Dragon Slayer, by the way. So yeah, anyways, let's move on to the next part, which is what events / changes to expect in this update. So for this anniversary update, we'll be expecting a lot of good stuff here. So Room Workshop will be in this update, so that means you can build your own gear of whichever one of your choice. But of course, with some limitations, of course. So if you're missing specific gear, this is not bad for you to build up because Rune Workshop is actually pretty amazing. So that way, like not only you give yourself a gear of your choice, you also get the chance of like enchant the gear that you prefer for the amount of stats you like to have for that gear. Eternal Forge is also active, which will introduce the 4 new equipments that you see here. One of them is actually very useful for Humbaba. And last but not least, we got Triple Gate of Fate going on in this update. So yeah, if you really need need to shard more heroes, this is perfect for all of you because that means you're now going to be able to shard up to 9 heroes per week instead of 3 heroes per week, which is pretty tiny. Not gonna lie. Although I kind of wish that Zilong could make the at least Double Gate of Fate permanent, like be able to help us like progress the game a little bit faster. But Zilong decided, you know what, nah, not needed. But I mean, I really wish they will increase the Gate of Fate chances because honestly, having 9 per day it really sucks. Actually, wait, I'm not weak. What am I saying? Like I just say per day. I mean, having this increase up to 9 heroes per day on the shards is pretty neat. And now for the changes to expect here. So the quality light changes we have are before the start of battle prep, you can now change hero equips. So previously we weren't able to do that, but in this update we will be able to by changing their equipments in the battle prep. And also you do have an option to change your skins by random while in the battle prep, which is amazing to have. Although not necessarily like an important feature, but it is nice to have regardless. If you want to be fashion, but you end up giving into the wrong skin, that's probably gonna give you a bit of an ease here. But honestly, the randomizer on there might actually be helpful, but at the same time, it's just a little strange. But hey, the option's there, so I'm not here to complain. And then this is another one that's already live in the game, which is the SP stones that were previously in DE stores. They are now going to be part of the Guild Wars store now, which is amazing. So that means players are no longer locked behind the DE content because DE is no longer being run in global. As far as I noticed, they have not done the rerun ever since the last time they did it. So yeah, Zilong decided to do this so that way people can still experience those SP heroes without it being locked behind certain content. Now let's move on to the next thing, which is new confession and exclusive we got this time around. So we got a new exclusive headwear for Virelia. And what this does, it increases the HP by 10%. And this gear allows her to ignore the skill cost, which is pretty nice. When using spell preparation outside of danger zone, all of her trigger cooldowns are reduced by 1 turn. Pretty nasty to have for Virelia. Well, of course, not necessarily a game-changing thing, but it's actually a pretty nice upgrade for her. And a new confession for this update this time around is Rhea. Yep, if you're a fan of Rhea, you'll be able to confess with her, and you will be able to see how many times you bring her into battle. I can imagine you brought her a lot, if you were using her a lot in PvP at least. Okay, next up we got our new casting skills. So we got two new casting skills this time around. We got Lightbringer is one of the 2 that we're getting here. When actively using Devotee's Glow, which is her 3C I believe, affected allies gain the effects. Damage dealt plus 15% during combat cannot be stacked with other fusion powers. So basically it adds a fusion power effect into her 3C. Pretty neat though, don't you think? And there's more. This 3C now affects both Holy and Infantry allies. So doesn't matter which class Lightbringer has or anybody else has, as long as they're holy or infantry, they're gonna gain this effect when you activate it, which is a nice upgrade for her. Happy for her because Lightbringer has been dormanted for quite a while now because ever since Dragon Slayer came aboard, she's kind of falling off because holies are really bad against him because of the class reverse. And I'm glad that with this upgrade, Lightbringer will be able to shine more, not as a holy unit, but as an infantry, if you chose her to be in that class. And next up we got is Sagani. Sagani is getting an upgrade here for casting. Int increased by 5%. Enemies within 2 blocks around the Snow Owl will receive mobility -1, and cannot guard. And if they are killed, reduces all Sagani's skill cooldowns by 1 turn. Yeah, I can imagine this upgrade is gonna cause people to feel Sagani a bit annoyed because a lot annoyed because for the fact that not only the owl be Sagani's attack range, it can also be served as Grenshio's effect. In case you guys don't know, Grenshio's the thing that she's propped on the field, that thing prevents tanks from guarding, as long as there's an empty block to place it on. So the only way that they can counterplay against that is by, of course, surround their tank with the attacking unit, so they could not guard ignore it. So for Sagani's case, since the owl is not really terrain-like kind of unit, in fact, it is kind of like the effect with Ilya's Angels. You really cannot clear it with Enya, by the way, which makes Sagani extremely dangerous to deal with. So what do I think about Sagani and Lightbringer having their castings? They're both pretty strong as options, but I don't know about Sagani though, because I could tell Sagani is going to be dangerous because the owl cannot be erased easily by Enya because the owl is not considered a terrain effect. Rather, it is a effect that Ilya has, something like that. And now, before we close out this video, I'm going to give you guys a reminder of what we'll be expecting for the next MU. So the next major update will be featuring Sibel and Bianca. And both are good, but however, if you really like these characters as a whole, I would say, yeah, go ahead. But they're not really a necessary requirement, but you could use them if you like. And I personally will summon for them, of course, if I have resources, that is. I have a lot on me, so I don't see a problem here. So anyways, that's it from me. So hope y'all enjoyed, and what do you guys think about the special collab with Skee earlier? Although sure, it's only a minimal role, but hey, at least this something I'm not used to back then. But I'm trying something new, but of course I'll improve it over time. So yeah, that's it from me. So hope y'all enjoyed and find this video informative, and I'll see y'all next time for more.